thinking ding dong, you know, all these hot chicks thought, oh, who are these players? No, they didn't. We had a couple of beers, we left, went to a local bar, we were embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, even when you get in with the beautiful people, they're terrifying. They're just, you find yourself so out of depth. It's the dream you've always dreamt of when you're a teenager, but when you actually get there, horrific. You just have nothing to say. You realise that there's a reason why the beautiful people and the likes of you and I, Har, are kept apart. There's an obvious reason for that. I just wanted to say, I'd play that. I don't normally just throw out requests, but we've had lots of people who email and text in all the time and just sort of say they like the show and things, which I really appreciate. And we do look at them, but I often just don't name check them on the air. So let me just play Jenny Lewis for, we've got Mark here who says that he's recovering after a friend's 21st yesterday. And so can I say happy birthday to Sarah, or Sarah, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that's Mark. Who have we got here? We've also got Jacqueline, who's a nurse. She lost her cat last week, which is very sad. She says that can we play some Super Furry Animals in honour of the cat. I'm afraid we don't have any SF this week, but hopefully Jenny Lewis was pleasant. And also Andy, Sharon and Lou, they're cooking burgers, so they'd like a mention. That's what they've got. We have to play a trial, then we'll come back with we'll come back with the Charlatans, right? Oh, there's some classic Charlatans.
Six music.
The only one I know, the Charlatans, the Steve Show. Thanks for getting in touch about your hatred of bouncers. I don't hate bouncers, I just have a problem with them. I wish they could just play by life's rules rather than their own sometimes. We've got one from Ched, he says, I love the show. I too have a deep hatred of the missing links, brackets bouncers. Oh, he's had a dig. But what worries me at the most is when they won't let you in because there aren't enough girls in your group. That's the sole reason I want to enter the establishment, to meet girls. It's like one big kick in the goolies. I know exactly how you feel because a couple of months back I tried to get into a club and I made that very plea. We're trying to get in to meet women. We're already depressed because it's Friday night and we're out on our own with just a bunch of lads. Now you're just throwing salt in the wound. It was awful. It was so embarrassing. And then I tried to use my celebrity status. It turned out they'd never heard of me. After being refused entry to a dingy little club for wearing trainers, I went to the nearest kebab vendor and ordered a cardboard box full of greasy spuds and some black boot polish. I then painted my trainers black, went back to the club and got straight in. Idiots. I wonder, are they the idiots or you for ruining a lovely pair of trainers?
Yeah. We've got one here from Martin as well, who uses some quite appalling language about bouncers, but he apparently argued with two of them for a full 45 minutes in London because they were saying that he wasn't allowed to stand on a pavement that wasn't even near the club. They're just making up their own rules now. But Karen's doing it for the masses. She slept with a bouncer and apparently he was rubbish.
Hey, high five.
High five.
Nice, good. Yeah, keep your digs at bouncers coming in. 64046 Stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk. We'll squeeze in some Wilson Pickett, then we'll have the news. Those and dances. That's a song actually which has been covered by many people, including Bill Haley, the Jay Giles Band, Patti Smith, and apparently Vinnie Jones on his 2002 album Respect.
I imagine that's very good.
Imagine if you've actually heard that Vinnie Jones album, then keep it to yourself. It's the Steve Show. We'll be back after the news with more stuff. Familiar to fans of the film The Big Lebowski, of course, because it's used in the sort of psychedelic dream sequence. That's just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. By Kenny Rogers and First Edition, a little bit of interesting trivia for trivia fans. The backwardsy guitar bit at the beginning is played by Glenn Campbell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and thanks. And the song was produced by Mike Post.
You're kidding.
No.
Posty.
I tell you why you're excited about that, because Posty, of course, became well known for composing almost every American TV theme tune of the 80s. He did famously, of course, Hill Street Blues, and also the A-Team. And the A-Team has always been, I think, the marker for me of a great theme tune, because it obeys a simple Steve rule, which is that you can sing the words of the show and the show's title to the song. The A-Team, the A-Team, the A-Team, the A-Team. Therefore making it one of the greats. And I think that, if you notice that a lot of the great memorable theme tunes, you can use that rule to test it. For instance, Last of the Summer Wine. The last of the summer wine. The last of the summer wine. Works beautifully.
See, Emmerdale Farm blew it when they dropped the farm, because it used to be Emmerdale Farm, do-do-do-do, Emmerdale Farm. But now it's just Emmerdale, it doesn't scan properly.
Which is exactly right. Whereas Coronation Street, Coronation Street, Coronation Street, Coronation Street.
And of course,
carefully.
Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I believe as well the 10 o'clock news, the ITV 10 o'clock news, works quite well. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't at all.
Okay, thank you very much for listening. If you are still listening, we've enjoyed some wonderful tunes. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. We were talking about bouncers before the news. We should probably wrap that up because it will become interminable. With a few final emails and texts. One from Michael who says, I was once stopped while trying to enter a bar by a bouncer for the very crime of wearing trainers, of course. I meekly protested, and whilst giving me some astute sartorial advice, you want to tidy yourself up a bit, mate, the bouncer stopped mid-flow to wave past a guy with a giant spider web tattooed on his face. His entire face. The Spider-Man had the forethought to pop on a nice pair of loafers. Of course he did. That's how he's getting in.
That's quality. We've got one here as well, Steve. A fellow who wasn't allowed into Tiger on Haymarket in London because he had jeans on. and he said, yeah, it's the whole package. It's not just the jeans. It's the whole package. I like the idea that they give advice. It's nice.
So that was the bouncer was saying that.
Yeah, it's like he's turning him away, but he's saying, look, you just need to sort yourself out, fella. Make a few changes, a few life changes. You've made some bad decisions.
I was
Move on.
thinking, you mentioned before about Karen, who emailed in and said that she slept with a bouncer once. He was rubbish.
Yeah.
I'm thinking she should have turned the tables on him.
Yeah.
And as he was about to, finish the act, she should have said, "Don't like the look of that, mate.
Yeah.
You're not getting in here."
Yeah. Groups of men, no more than 3 at once.
Exactly. Yeah. No sight close. It would have been. But they're right. It's so often the way, isn't it, that after the event you
Absolutely.
you
Think of the
think of
best
what
thing.
you should have said later. I appreciate all the emails and texts. Thank you very much indeed for that. Each week, of course, we like to get the people here in the studio to contribute a song choice. That is very much the nature of the show. People recommend tunes. You, the listeners, will be doing that later. Harry is with us. He has a tune which he is going to suggest to me that I might like.
I have. It's called Lonely Still. It's by Jessie Sykes and the Sweet Hereafter.
Should I be familiar with them?
Probably not, no. She sort of does a kind of country goth type thing, similar to the Hanson family, I guess. But my reason for picking it, I used to live in Bristol, and I had a flat above a very sort of spiteful, hateful little man, who used to just constantly row with his wife. And when he was upset, after he'd had a row with his wife and she'd stormed out, which happened a lot of the time, in the middle of the night, he would play Fields of Gold by Sting on repeat. I once stayed awake for 3 hours as that single song was played. It'd be quite a noble thing, and you're doing it a disservice if you're playing tat like that when you're upset. And I think if I was going to play a song sort of 30 times in a row, then get armed up and slay everyone in my local quick save, then this is probably the song that I'd want to play.
Steve Show, BBC Six Music with me, Steve Merchant, Jessie Sykes and Lonely Still. Choice of Harry, very beautiful melancholy tune. It's exactly, as you say, the sort of song you'd like to hear 8 times in a row before you take a machete to a postman's face.
Just some details off her second album, Reckless Burning. She's got a recent album out which is called Like Love, Lust and the Open Halls of the Soul.
Ooh.
And she's playing 5 UK dates in May.
And you've seen her live before?
I've not. I'm looking forward to going to see her in May.
You'll be grooving along. I mean, of course, it's not just us in the studio who get to choose the songs. It is, of course, also you, the listeners. You can go to www.bbc.co.uk/6music and find my page, and you can make your recommendations there, which is something that our caller has done. Who are we speaking to here? Is it Deborah?
That's right, hi.
Hello, Deborah. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Poole in Dorset.
Poole in Dorset. I've heard it's very pleasant. I've never been.
Oh, you should come.
Okay. We get off at 5, but I'll come straight there.
Okay, 2 hours on the train.
All right, excellent. And what's the most interesting thing you've done today?
The most interesting thing I've done today so far is to run a half marathon.
You've run a half marathon. Oh, well done. Round of applause in the Steve Wright Star for that. Is this in training for a marathon, or you actually were in some kind of... Was there other runners, or was it just you on your own?
No, there were a lot of other runners. It was the Bournemouth Bay Run.
Okay. Is this a big run? Is this an important run?
Well, I don't know. It's just a run.
And did you do it for charity or just for your own
I did it for
selfish reasons?
charity. Yeah.
Okay. And did you raise some money?
I did raise some money. Yes. Not very much, but
People often criticise me because I do not give the money I've pledged unless they actually complete the task they've set. Some people say, "Oh, well, they didn't make it. They didn't make the bike run. I'm not going to give. I'm going to give you the money anyway." No. All right.
No.
You said you'd cycle around the world. You haven't done it. Forget it. You're not having 5p fix or whatever it might be. And so, do you want to boast about how much you raised?
No.
You don't? Okay. That's either because it was a pitifully low amount or because it was a giant sum and you don't want to seem arrogant. I recently gave my fee to Comic Relief.
Stop it. You never stop
You
it.
really?
Listen, some people... Look, Deborah didn't realise. She's a regular... She didn't realise. Yeah, I gave my fee for the show to Comic Relief. It's pretty cool,
Very
isn't it?
generous.
All right. Round of applause for that. No, okay,
No,
don't worry. So, so you did are you one of the people who runs in sort of a novelty outfit? Are you the sort of person who dresses as Busby or Dusty Bin and does it that way, which always seems to me a stupid thing to do?
I just wear dark glasses and hope nobody recognises me.
And what's your general sort of what's your general demeanour? Do you work? Are you on the dole? She's nice to get a picture of the listeners, I think, Deborah.
I work.
You work. Okay, can you tell us what?
I'm a care home inspector for older people.
Oh, okay, that sounds very noble.
Very noble.
You're very, very noble, but you're probably the classiest person we've ever had on the line.
Thank you very much.
You've done
Thank
charity
you.
work
Thank
today.
you.
You're obviously fit and healthy. You mentioned on your email that you're a rich widow. Is that true?
Well, is it true? Have we got a trust issue?
Oh, is that a shame? Did you just put that on so that we'd call you up?
Or do you think people do that sort of thing?
Well, I tell you, that's why we phoned. We read that, we thought, why not? So what's the tune that you've chosen for us, Deborah?
I've chosen a desperately romantic love song, which is by Tim Buckley and Larry Beckett. It's the Song to the Siren, and it's the version by This Mortal Coil.
Okay, now I'm not sure I'm familiar with the original because I'm one of the people who slightly overlooked Jeff Buckley. Tim Buckley. Is this Tim Buckley? Oh, well, no, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm all across Tim Buckley. I love him. I love him.
Father,
Like,
Jeff Buckley's father.
yes, indeed. No, absolutely. No, we should play some Tim Buckley in the future. So this is Song to the Siren. Okay, this Mortal Kombat. Is this a kind of rockier version?
No, but it's very beautiful.
All right, listen, I'm going to check it out right now, and I'll give you my verdict after the song.
Okay.
Stay there, Deborah. Song to the Siren by this Mortal Core, their version of the Tim Buckley original, as chosen by Deborah Jones from Poole. Deborah, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Thank you very much indeed for contributing that to me. It's one of those songs I probably would never have discovered on my own, so that's exactly what this show is about, people contributing music that I would not otherwise be familiar with.
Did you like it, though?
I did enjoy it very much, although I do wonder if it's the sort of song I might play at a funeral. And nothing, wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's always good to know what song you might play at a funeral, unless you've got to organise one quickly. You know, for instance, if I did a half marathon, I'm almost certain, you know, I would literally, I'd put the trainers on, I'd step over the starting line, that would be the end of me. I would never, so I'm always impressed by anyone who's done anything like that. Is that the sort of music you listen to while running? I would imagine that would really, no, I don't know how long it took you, but...
A long time.
Well, listen, I really appreciate you getting in touch, Deborah. Thank you very much indeed
Thank you.
for that. And we've enjoyed the track enormously. You sound like quite a classy lady.
Thank you, I am, yes.
Oh, arrogant. No, and how did you think your classiness manifests itself? Are you well dressed?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
And are you one of our older listeners or one of our younger?
Probably slightly older. But only a little bit slightly.
Sure. Are you older than me?
Just a little bit, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, but still a bit racy.
Still a bit racy. Interesting. Man alive, are you married?
Oh.
This is. I love the fact that she's willing to say that she's a rich widow on the email, but once I probe her for it, and I didn't mean that in a rude way. I just meant once I start asking the question, she's a bit cagey. Interesting. Exactly that kind of lady. Are you the sort of lady I might find in a club down in Poole on a Friday night? Have you ever?
Oh, there's not many clubs in Poole on a Friday night, has to be said.
What would you normally do on a Friday night? Is a little bit bingo? A little bit bingo?
A little bit of bingo. No, there's good pubs, there's good restaurants, you know.
Sure.
Good.
Perhaps
Good
out with
place.
friends. Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
ever been turned away from a nightclub because of a surly bouncer?
No, in fact, I actually proved that. I used to work in a club in Liverpool, and they used to protect us. They were good guys.
Really?
Most of them had done time, but they were still good guys.
Most of them have done time, which is interesting. We're paying up a fascinating portrait of Britain's bouncers here. Most of them have done time.
And there's actually
Deborah in Poole.
a school where you can learn to be a bouncer in Bournemouth.
Is there really? Maybe we should get them on the line. They could answer some serious questions. I wonder because I'd like to know exactly why they're still persevering with the trainers equals maniac, and loafers means nice, which is clearly nonsense. And in fact, most of the people who've ever caused trouble in clubs I've been in have been the people wearing smart shoes and chinos. So there's no rhyme, no reason to it, Deborah. I think you're in agreement. Thank you very much indeed. Listen, I need to let you go now because you're probably exhausted. Probably need to have a shower.
I am. Broken.
Yes. Oh, are you? What are you doing lying on the couch? Right. Well, Deborah, dream of me as you lie there and slowly drift off into your own world. Thank you very much again for your
Thank you.
suggestion.
Bye.
If you would like to make a suggestion, you can get in touch www.bbc.co.uk/6music. In fact, I have someone here who's made a suggestion. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, here we are. There's basically on the website you have to answer a number of different questions when you make your suggestion, and and here's one that's been sent in. What's the title of the track you suggest? Penis. Who's it by? Penis. Why do you think Stephen will like this track? Penis. Where are you from? Penis. And that's from penis@something.com. So thank you very much indeed, Penis. We shall try and dig that out from the BBC archive. And but it's nice. I love the fact that someone's sort of so contemptuous of us that they still find time to bother typing in the hilarious penis answer. We appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Before the top of the hour sting, you heard Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Refugee. I'm pleased to welcome Rufus, super posh Rufus is with us.
Good afternoon.
You know you're dealing with a posh man when he brings in as a little snack some pavlova. I wouldn't even know where to buy pavlova. I imagine this is something you whipped up this morning after church.
It is every day after church. I would make the pavlova before I put my tweed on because you don't want to get pavlova spilt on your tweed. But then, I dig in.
I'm not even sure I know what pavlova is. I'm looking forward to it enormously.
Yeah, it's meringue, whipped cream, and fresh fruit melange.
Of course it is. It's the first time we've heard the word melange on today's show, and it's only one man who we'd expect to say it. I imagine we've been talking earlier before your arrival about run-ins with bouncers. I imagine that's something that's never happened to you. You're always dressed elegantly. You always know how to dress, and as you're popping to the Ritz for tea.
Yeah, I had a run-in with a junior run-in with a bouncer when I was about 18. I was a member of an improbably posh club called the East India Club in St James's Square,
Wow.
where you have to wear a jacket and tie, and it was was the middle of summer. We were all a bit hot, my friends and I. We were about 18 years old, and we decided to remove our jackets. And we'll call him a bouncer. The man behind the bar said, "No, sir, no, sir." That's what we were told. Halfway, with the jackets half off, jackets came straight back on again. That's the kind of
It's a
bouncers I've
club where you're
experienced.
presumably spending, 5,000